I don't remember when I started Oregairu. I got into seasonal anime in about summer 2015, and Oregairu aired the season before in spring. So instead of the intense layers of subtext and hidden meaning that seeped through Snafu's second season, I got the bangers like Charlotte and Rampo Kitan. Does anyone even remember Rampo Kitan?
でもこれ女性のカードですけど。
私は少女にだけは変装できなくてね。君が少女のふりをして犯人をあぶり出す有効な方法だろう。はい。そしてこれが丁寧に椅子に組み上げた死体です。
I've always been rom-com trash, and the way I got deep into anime was through harems. So alone a high school protagonist and what seemed like multiple romantic interests was exactly my type of thing. As a loner at the time who liked to consider himself a romantic, Oregairu seemed like the perfect fit for me. And it was. Season 1 was a lot of fun. It was comedic with cute moments and a loner protagonist who saw the world in a different way that no one else could. As a loner who'd been recently rejected by my peers, I could relate. Hachiman had always wanted friends but had been pushed away, and that had just happened to me. However, unlike Hachiman, I never blamed the people around me. I just hated myself and hid increasingly inside my shell. With enough time, maybe I would have become more venomous to those around me, but long story short, luckily I never did. But still, while our reactions were very different, I feel our beginnings were quite similar, so I did feel a connection to Hikigaya Hachima. A lot of people did. It's why he's usually near the top of the charts for male protagonists. I got a sense of satisfaction seeing him with the most beautiful girl in the school and the popular pretty girl. And season 2 showed me more, adding a third girl who was the definition of fox ear to the mix. The show romanticized going on school trips and going out with friends to discount Disneyland and yes. Conversations with girls. And it ended with what I saw as the two main girls saying they were going to fight over this guy, who was a loser because they saw what he was really worth underneath. I remember being confused by the middle of season 2 by stuff that I knew I wasn't mature enough to understand at the time. I was 15, maybe 16, but I remember liking the end and looking forward to season 3 because the idea of two pretty girls fighting over a main character was the stuff I was down for at the time. I'm starting to see why people disliked me. I've rewatched Snafu a couple of times over the years, and each time I've untangled a bit more of the web that is season 2. Like instead of Hikigaya being that awesome guy that no one gets, who's always doing the right thing, he was actually purposely looking for solutions to fit his own mindset, to hurt himself, to be a victim of self-sacrifice to reinforce his ideals that he was different and the people around him are cruel for looking down on him. Because it would be awful to think that these hateful things about those around you, only to realise that they don't have something fundamentally different to you, and they are, like him, just people. That's why, after a while, he kept people at arm's length, further even. But it finally hit him that hurting himself hurts other people. It hurt Yukino and Yui, because he'd built a connection with them. He realised he'd blocked out the pain he gets when he self-sacrifices himself. But it comes flooding back when he realises why he's been doing it. To help others. And Hikigaya hits a crossroad when he realises to continue down this path he'll have to lose the connections he's been building, for it to slowly become a routine of the club room without the passion of the first season, the same as coming home from school and work and your parents asking, "How's your day?" Fine. A way to say you're connected without there actually being anything there. That's the choice for Hachiman. Something we know he hates as he's constantly slandered it for 2 seasons. Or something scarier. He chooses to improve himself. Wants to be close to Yui and Yukino. He wants their relationship to not be confined by the service club, after recently realizing their friendship didn't have to be confined by the four walls of the club room, which he used to believe when squandering Yukino's attempt of running for student council president. He doesn't want the fake niceties he sees the friendship groups around him have. He wants something more. Something genuine. It's heartwarming to see Hachiman try for this at the beginning of Season 3. To find something genuine, you must be yourself genuine first. And this is most exemplified with his conversation with Komachi when she drops the little sister act and genuinely thanks him for everything he's done for her. Media likes to gloss over this, but familial bonds will be more genuine first before those between friends and those of a romantic nature. The first few episodes were very nostalgic for me, and I think the show was gunning for that. It knows that it's been a while and that this is the end, so they start celebrating the show by reintroducing the characters in fun ways. As someone who's up to Volume 4 on the light novels, I got especially excited when the gaming club appeared, as they'd been cut from Season 1. Of course, it isn't all sunshines and roses. The seed of conflict was sown by Haruno's introductory scene, but took a few episodes to blossom with the word codependency, which in hindsight I now understand why it took like 2 layers of flashback for that to come out. The show wanted us to feel all warm and gooey and snuggly inside, seeing all these great characters again, for putting them through the latest patch of teen angst. I'm not too big on looking at the community conversations on anime as they air, but I did check the Reddit for this season. I remember throughout the middle people were annoyed at how little Yukino was in it, and how little she was doing, and how much the entire thing was revolving around Yui. I mean, Yui fans would have loved it. But I think that was the point. Yukino was purposely distancing herself from Hachiman to make a prom work against her mother, and I feel deep down she knew it wouldn't work. Like how Hachiman knew his fake prom method wouldn't work in the way he wanted it to, as most people kept telling him it wouldn't get him what he wanted, which was to be with Yukino. His plan to have her win by making a worse plan wouldn't give her the satisfaction she actually wanted of an actual W, as it relied on him. He knew that, but he did it anyway. They saw being apart from each other physically as not being codependent, but they were still relying on one another, not a change from the status quo emotionally. Yui didn't want change. She wanted the club room to stay the same, she wanted her friends to stay the same, but she saw Hachiman drifting closer to Yukino, and realized if change was going to happen, it would be for her. So she tries, for half a season, to get Hachiman to fall in love with her. I was annoyed watching the end of episode 6 because her monologue was the exact same as it was in episode 4. But I realise now that was the point. Yui, even when chasing Hachiman, didn't want change. She wanted the times of them working close with one another to never end. She wanted both be in a relationship with Hachiman and be friends with Yukino, but is scared of losing both when one of those possibilities starts drifting. Yui's on the front so much, partly as a test for Hachiman and the viewer. Hachiman wants something genuine, and a genuine love doesn't fade with distance. So simply by not having Yukino in the episodes to remind him and the viewer she exists, while another pretty girl is there, it can't be genuine. But Hachiman doesn't lose sight of Yukino no matter what Yui does, and that's heartbreaking for her. Honestly, it's heartwarming for me. It shows Hachiman has resolved. He isn't his edgy self who would take any pretty girl who flung herself at him, like I would when I related to him in Season 1. It reminds me of Season 1 of ReZero, where Emilia cut ties with Subaru and left him in the capital. The viewer in both instances got a drought of the main heroine, but got a huge influx of development of this wonderful other girl that made most of the fan base prefer her. But not the protagonist, not Subaru, not Hachiman. We're easily distanced because it's entertainment, fictional.
It never happened.
If we see a character we like, we want them to be happy. And if we like the protagonist, and possibly self-insert ourselves into them, we want them to get laid as quickly as possible. But when a really great protagonist comes around, they won't just do what the viewer would want to happen to them. They keep their own ideals, their own sense of identity. Oh hey, adults know things. We get wrapped up in our team's angst, we forget how the adults who watch from the sidelines probably think it's all adorable. Kind of like when you still watch this shit after you become an adult because it's just entertaining. Hiratsuka has also defined herself as an oddball, which is why she enjoys spending time with Hachiman, as he's one. They both can't do things in a direct, socially accepted way. However, because of that, Hiratsuka knows how to help him, and she does. While not being in a relationship herself, she's still wise to love and knows it's not just all positives. It's all the negatives, some are apparent and others build up over time. It's why long-lasting relationships aren't filled with passion, and they can be more prone to complaining about one another. But in a healthy relationship, this means they are more honest with one another, that the bond is more genuine, and all those little negatives mesh with all the positives to make a unique, much grander love. It's also a hell of a lot easier giving advice on love than doing it yourself, so I see how Hiratsuka knows his stuff but still can't put it into action. Someone marry that woman. What I like about the OP is that it talks about how it doesn't want the story to have a layer of snow. It may look pretty, but it kills the life underneath, and all in all, it's cold. You would prefer rain to give future stories life. It may be a pain to be in, but in the long run, rain's good. Yui cries when she realizes she can never have Hachiman, and the snow on the ground thaws, and we see Yukino again. We see her not put up a front to Hachiman, and they are genuine one another, making something genuine. When the rain stops, we're back in the club service room, but with a much more different atmosphere than before. And Yui comes in. She's finally able to want something genuine too, but she can't be direct about it, like how Yukino can't, and like how Hachiman can't. It took her a while, but she is where these two were at the beginning of Season 3. We leave the trio to resolve this new issue, a new story which has been sprouted due to the rain. I also really like the fact that the OP talks about wanting new stories to blossom from the rain, and when the season was airing, Wataru announced he was doing a light novel for when the characters are in the next year of high school. It's really putting his money where his mouth is for theming. So what are my closing thoughts on Oregairu? Season 1 was a comedy. Season 2 a romantic drama. Season 3 was both. It celebrates all that in a rewarding way to the viewer. A smile on my face for the entire first 2 episodes as characters we were introduced. We see characters grow. Hachiman tries to be genuine to find something genuine. It takes him a while. The word codependency pushes him back to his old self-sacrifice methods of making a prom destined to fail. But we see all of our main trio accepting something to move forward in life. And I'm excited to see what, when either the upcoming light novel comes out internationally or there's an anime adaptation for it. So maybe in 20 years. Maybe I'll have understood what Season 2 is about by then. I love this show. I think Season 3 was a bit repetitive, but thematically it made sense, and if you're this far into the show, you love the characters anyway, so they get you through it. I only have one big complaint, really. Why didn't Hayama get more screen time? Hey there. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if this is my first video you've watched, or you've watched one of the other videos, or you've watched both of the other videos. With this video, this is my 3rd video, but I'm going to go on a whim and say that no one's watched more than one of my videos, considering it apparently takes me 4 months to make a single video, and something tells me, don't know why, I think it's just gut intuition, that that's not very good for new channels when they try and get viewer attention. Just, weird little feeling about that. Anyway, I've also come to realise in the past 8 months what I probably should have been doing is promoting other platforms I'm on, in case people were interested in following more about what I do. I have a Twitch channel. I stream every week. Well, I say most weeks. I try to stream every weekend at these times on the screen. I'm not going to say them, considering there's multiple time zones, and I'm not just going to say a time because who knows where you could be watching from. It could be a different time from me. So anyway, if your time zone isn't on the screen, you're going to have to figure it out, to be honest. I'll link my Twitch in the description. It's twitch.tv/Phoenix, which, It's the same name as this YouTube channel. It's the name I use or something. It's crazy, that is. I also have a Twitter, which is also Phoenix. I don't really talk about my Twitch or my YouTube on there, but if I knew I had followers who were viewers on here or viewers on Twitch, I'd, be more inclined to do that. And if you want to just use that to nag me on where I am on making videos, now that I've said I'm trying to make one a month, or if you want to come to my Twitch and just nag me there about making videos, or just talk to me about my thoughts on random stuff. I'm apparently an analysing channel. That wasn't really the aim, but it's kind of the only videos I really know how to make. I would like to do other stuff, but I haven't really thought about what I would be able to do, essentially. But I might figure something out, and we'll see. I also want to say that I'm going to be streaming Devil May Cry 2 during the Christmas period because, as everyone knows, it's a Christmas game. The most Christmas game. I'll be streaming from the 23rd to the 27th. This is more American dates. It's going to be the same time as all my streams, but these are the dates. 23rd, Wednesday 23rd to Sunday the 27th, I will be streaming Devil May Cry 2. I will probably finish it before that, but if I do, I might go to Devil May Cry 3 or a different game. Who knows? That's the magic of Twitch. You don't know what's going to happen. I've played Devil May Cry 1 last year, and for whatever reason it's taken me a full year to get to the second game, which once again wasn't very good for retention. Oh well. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly essentially shout out my other stuff, considering there might be some people interested in that. I think I only make a YouTube video once every 4 months. I'm around on the internet, and if you want to find me, feel free to.